Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. You're watching EmoNews every moment online. In tonight's news headlines, DAT strengthens school-based teacher representation through leadership and well-being workshop. Grenada and Canada explore cooperation in healthcare, energy, and skills development. ECCB consults banking sector ahead of launch of Office of Financial Conduct. Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority announces key leadership appointments. ESPN ranks player in Dominican-run basketball program among nation's top 25. Julian Alfred wins 200 meters at Rome Diamond League. And DFA expands grassroots football support through FIFA Football for Schools program. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us. Welcome back. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 5th of June, 2026. In local news this evening, the Mao constituency's bus driver appreciation giveaway concluded today, with one dedicated bus driver emerging as the winner of $500 gas voucher after receiving the highest number of valid public nominations. The initiative was launched to recognize the hard work and commitment of bus drivers who provide daily transportation services to residents, helping them travel safely to work, school, appointments, and other destinations. Members of the public were invited to participate by following the designated Facebook page, liking and sharing the promotional post, and nominating what they considered to be the most reliable bus driver serving the constituency. Organizers described the response as encouraging, highlighting the strong appreciation residents have for the vital role bus drivers play within their communities.
So the commuters had an opportunity to vote online for their most reliable, most dedicated and their favorite bus driver. So that's the reason why we're here this afternoon. Whilst we're talking about this, I just want to acknowledge all of the bus drivers over the years, starting from Fufu that it has been since I was a little child, and for those that passed, including Box, which was recent that passed, and all of the Mao bus drivers, one would really appreciate why they say that Mao is a village that never sleeps. We also have the most persons being shifted around daily, and we do depend on and we must appreciate the fact that the bus drivers do a phenomenal job. Because Mao might be the only place that you could get a bus day and night, 7 days a week.
The winner was selected based on the highest number of valid mentions received before the voting deadline, and the prize was presented following the close of voting earlier today. Let's hear from the winner.
Well, I feel okay. I feel great for the contribution once again, and to big up the rep. And it's not just me alone or Rio alone. All of us just play our contribution, you know. So if we could do something towards all of us to get something, it's plenty better, not just 1, 2, and 3. Because all of us really have in our own ways. Okay, but still big up to the rep, you know already.
The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence today hosted its TVET Showcase 2026 at government headquarters in Roseau. Held under the theme, TVET for Excellence, showcasing skills, breaking stigmas, building futures. The event highlighted the creativity, innovation, and practical skills of students enrolled in technical and vocational education and training programs across Dominica. The showcase featured exhibits in agriculture, garment production, food and nutrition, woodwork, and several other vocational disciplines, demonstrating how TVET is equipping students with skills for employment, entrepreneurship, and lifelong success. Students, educators, parents, public officers, and members of the wider community attended the event to celebrate and support skills development and technical excellence. EmoNews was present and spoke with several students about their projects, experiences, and future aspirations. Let's hear what they had to say.
This is EmoNews, and today we are here at the TVET Fair downstairs, government headquarters, and so many schools are here displaying the different skills that they are, taking part at their schools, and we are going to be interviewing a few of them. We are going to begin with the Portsmouth Secondary School, and Miss Blaise is here. She's going to talk to us about her school.
Today we are displaying just a little bit of the skills that our students have. We do a number of things. So you can see that we're doing a hairstyle here. One student is redoing a locks. One student is also doing a hairstyle, but they are very skilled in eyebrow, waxing, just name it. Everything to do with cosmetology, hair, nails, skin.
This now is the poster of our agricultural department. It tells you a little bit about them, what they instill in the agriculture department. And down here shows some of the stuff about the goat rearing, animal health, how you farm a trick to the market, all those other stuff. It's just a display since we couldn't bring actual stuff here. And this is the woodwork department stuff. They have a drawer made out of PVC board, etc. holds stuff. As you can see, it moves smoothly. And you have a jewelry box made by me, and this drawer is made by Shane, the one you talked to earlier. Yes, and it's nice.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Naomi Angela Charles, and we have our garment display here. This is a laptop pouch. This is an applique pouch. This is a scrunchie. This is a scrunchie. And these two are bags.
And you all created these items at the school?
Yes, ma'am.
How does it feel to be taking part here at the TVET Fair?
It feels very exciting.
So other than these items, what else do you do in terms of skills at the school?
I make little clothes, like as designs.
Do you want to be a seamstress when you grow up?
It depends.
You think you'll have your own fashion line?
Maybe.
All right, thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right.
I am Ashel Alfred from the Castlebridge Primary School, and I am Tafras. So we have built a climate resilient home to protect against multiple disasters. As you can see, we have concrete structure and window shutters to protect against hurricanes. We also have a floating system for the floods and a strong base for earthquakes. We have a water rain harvesting system which has a reserve tank. So as you can see, we now have availability to water. Solar panels for most of the time it takes light.
Wow.
Also, a past disaster we have had is Hurricane Maria, which had strong winds, heavy rains, and many homes were destroyed. But now we have a solution with our climate resilient home.
The newly elected Pebush Dodan Belmane Village Council was officially sworn into office on Thursday, June 4, 2026, during its 21st swearing-in ceremony held at the Pebush Primary School. The ceremony saw elected and nominated councillors take the oath of office before Justice of Peace, Justina Ferrall, marking the beginning of a new term of service to the community. In her inaugural remarks, newly confirmed chairman, Ms. Emmeline Anselm, called on residents to put politics aside and work together for the development of the community. She urged villagers to end division and embrace unity, emphasizing that progress can only be achieved when the community works as one.
It is with great gratitude and a humble heart that I stand before you today as the newly selected chairperson of the Pebush Dodan Village Council. First and foremost, I want to sincerely thank the people of Pebush and Dodan for placing their trust and confidence in me. To every villager who supported me, encouraged me, and believed in my vision for this community, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your vote was not just for me, but it was for the future of Pebush. I also want to thank you, my fellow councillors, for voting and selecting me to serve as your chairperson. I do not take this lightly. I pledge to work with each and every one of you respectfully and wholeheartedly for the betterment of our village. Today, I reflect on the rich history and spirit of Pebush. Let us bring back the days of Chico, Buko, Caesar, Day, Charles Bird, Mame, and all the others who helped shape this village into the strong and loving community we know today. Those were days when neighbors looked out for one another, when unity mattered more than division, and when community always came first. Pebush has always been a tight-knit community, one I proudly boast about everywhere I go. I speak about our strength, our culture, our hard-working people, and our resilience. That is the Pebush I know and the Pebush I love. But I must ask an important question. Where did politics get into village council? Village council work should never be about political division. It should be about the people. It should be about the service. It should be about development. This division needs to stop, and sooner than later. Our plans will be focused on community development, youth involvement, cultural revival, beautification projects, stronger support for our elderly, greater opportunities for our young people, and ensuring that Pebush receive the recognition it deserves, both locally, regionally, and internationally.
Assistant Local Government Commissioner Steve Joseph also delivered brief remarks, congratulating the new council and encouraging members to serve with dedication, integrity, and a commitment to the people of Pebush, Dodan, and Belmanere.
Let me take the opportunity to congratulate you on behalf of the Local Government Commissioner and the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development. Why are you here? Why are you here? Because the law requires you to be here. The law requires you in Section 71 of the Village Council Ordinance that both the elected and the nominated or appointed members of the council must take an oath before you can officially transact the business of the community. That's why you're here. So it is the first meeting of the council where you now take an oath to make you properly seated. And that seated is not the seat you took when you came earlier. You sat on a chair. Now you are officially a functionary of the council as a councillor. You've officially taken your seat. And so the next time, if you meet this evening, for example, you now have the authority to transact business on behalf of Pebush, Belmanere, Morpap. I'm not too sure that's in your legal name, but Morpap, Belmanere, Dodan, Village Council. So this is very important. Councillors, you have two main functions in the council. And each council would fall under that framework, so to speak. One of governance and one of development.
Outgoing chairman, Mr. Alexis George, reflected on the work of the previous council and expressed gratitude to his fellow councillors for their service and contributions during the past term.
To the newly elected chairperson and members of the village council, please accept my sincere congratulations. Thank you. You now carry a responsibility heavier than titles. Leadership is not about power, it is about service. I urge you to work with the council and the community, not over the community. Prioritize urgent needs such as to educate our young people regarding drugs and alcohol. Keep records, budget carefully and ensure transparency. Maintain discipline, respect and fairness in all decisions. Be accessible to the people, especially during times of concern. Stay away from backstabbing your fellow councillors. Be confidential as it relates to decisions taken by the council. Know that I also pledge my continued support and cooperation and goodwill as you begin your term. Whatever political leadership change or whenever political leadership changes occur, let us remember that our village remains one family. I call on everyone present to promote unity, encourage peaceful resolution to conflicts that will come, conflicts will come, support development initiatives, protect our shared values and community culture. As I conclude, I want to say thank you once again for the opportunity to serve. If in any way I fell short of your expectation, in that case I'm going to say we fell short of your expectations. I humbly ask for your forgiveness. May God bless our village, strengthen our unity, and guide our leaders to work for the common good. Thank you.
The ceremony concluded with a vote of thanks delivered by Councillor Veda Paul, followed by refreshments and fellowship among attendees. And finally, the Dominica Association of Teachers recently hosted an educational workshop for school representatives across the island, aimed at strengthening teacher representation, leadership, and well-being within the education system. Held on June 2 at the Dominica Public Service Union building, the workshop brought together teachers who serve as DAT representatives in their respective schools. These representatives act as a vital link between teachers and the association, helping to communicate concerns, provide support, and share important information with colleagues. Participants took part in 2 professional development sessions. The first, Leadership and Advocacy Development, Growing Effective Advocates, was facilitated by Steve Joseph and focused on strengthening leadership and advocacy skills among teacher representatives. The second session, Workload and Well-being, Sustaining the Profession, was led by Mignon Rose-Shillingford of the Health Promotion Unit and addressed issues such as workload, stress, burnout, and strategies for maintaining a healthy work-life balance. The DAT emphasized that effective teacher representation begins at the school level and noted that strengthening the capacity of school representatives ultimately benefits educators across Dominica. The association expressed appreciation to both facilitators for sharing their expertise and reaffirmed its commitment to supporting professional growth, leadership, development, and the welfare of teachers throughout the island. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prices. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
And now taking a look at regional news. Grenada's Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, met with a delegation of Caribbean officials on Thursday to discuss opportunities for collaboration in several key sectors. The delegation included Ontario's Minister of Energy and Mines, Stephen Lecce, Associate Minister in the Office of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity, Charmaine Williams, along with other government representatives. Discussions focused on strengthening cooperation in healthcare, energy, and skills development as Grenada continues to pursue partnerships that support its national development goals. According to the Prime Minister's office, the meeting formed part of ongoing efforts to deepen international relationships and identify opportunities that can contribute to economic growth, workforce development, and improve services for the people of Grenada. Officials expressed a shared commitment to exploring areas of mutual interest and building stronger ties between Grenada and Canada. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, has continued preparations for the launch of its Office of Financial Conduct, OFC, with a stakeholder consultation session involving members of the Bankers Association in St. Kitts and Nevis and Anguilla. The session held at the ECCB headquarters on June 4 was led by Chief Director, Policy Dr. Tracy Polius and focused on key aspects of the new regulatory framework that will govern financial consumer protection and business conduct. Presentations covered topics including market conduct requirements for licensed financial institutions, the ECCB supervisory powers, the Financial Dispute Resolution Commission, and new codes of conduct for complaints handling and financial consumer access and inclusion. The Office of Financial Conduct is scheduled to begin operations in September 2026 and will be responsible for overseeing financial consumer protection and business conduct matters for institutions licensed under the Banking Act. The consultation forms part of a series of stakeholder engagement being conducted by the ECCB as it advances preparations for the establishment of the new office. The Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority has announced 2 senior leadership appointments aimed at strengthening the destination's tourism sector and expanding its global reach. Effective June 1, Charmaine Spencer was appointed Chief Marketing Officer following her successful tenure as Director of Tourism for the Caribbean and Latin America. Spencer brings more than 15 years of experience with the authority and has played a key role in expanding Antigua and Barbuda's visibility, strengthening industry partnerships, and driving growth across regional markets. Succeeding Spencer is Charmaine Jeremy, who has been named Director of Tourism for the Caribbean and Latin America. Jeremy brings 18 years of destination marketing experience and has led several successful tourism initiatives, including the expansion of Antigua and Barbuda's culinary tourism product and the growth of the destination's romance tourism sector. Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, Colin C. James, praised both appointments, noting that the experience and leadership will help advance the authority's tourism objectives. The appointments come as Antigua and Barbuda reports a 7% increase in stayover visitor arrivals during the first quarter of 2026, signaling continued growth in the tourism industry. Officials say the new leadership team will play an important role in building on that momentum and strengthening the destination's position in key international markets. And finally, the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, hosted an educational field activity for farmers in Region 3 at Maroon Hill on June 3, highlighting the benefits of intercropping dashing and plantains. The activity formed part of the International Trade Center ITC project, the Caribbean, strengthening sustainable value chains through productive and commercial alliances, which is funded by the European Union. CARDI Country Representative Donawa Jackson emphasized the importance of crop diversification strategies that enhance productivity, profitability, and resilience in agriculture. Discussions focused on maximizing yields, increasing cash returns, improving land use efficiency, managing weeds, reducing pests and diseases, and lowering dependence on agrochemicals. Agricultural consultant Leroy Jackson also shared insights on sustainable farming practices and their role in strengthening agricultural production. Participating farmers observed the intercropping system firsthand and engaged in discussions aimed at improving farming practices and productivity. Cardi said the initiative supports sustainable agriculture, food security, and climate resilience in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and across the wider Caribbean region. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next. In international news, Ukraine says it struck 5 vessels in the Sea of Azov and waters of Russian-occupied territories, accusing them of transporting stolen Ukrainian grain, military cargo, and fuel. The attacks come as President Vladimir Putin prepares to speak at an economic forum in St. Petersburg, a day after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky renewed calls for direct peace talks. Meanwhile, Ukraine confirmed one of its naval drones exploded near Romania's Black Sea coast after reportedly being diverted by Russian electronic interference. No injuries were reported. Veteran U.S. actor James Handy, known for roles in Jumanji, Top Gun: Maverick, and numerous television dramas, has been found stabbed to death at his home in L.A. He was 81. Police say Handy was discovered with multiple stab wounds outside his residence in Tarzana, California. A 44-year-old man identified as the son of Handy's girlfriend has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Handy enjoyed a career spanning 6 decades with appearances in popular series including The West Wing, Law and Order, NCIS, and CSI New York. His most recent film role was in 2022's Top Gun: Maverick. At least 49 people have died of thirst in northern Niger after the truck carrying them broke down in a remote part of the Sahara Desert, authorities said. The group was returning from a Muslim festival in Mali when they became stranded without water. Only 2 people survived and managed to alert authorities. Rescue teams later found dozens of bodies near the vehicle. Officials say the tragedy highlights the dangers faced by migrants and travelers crossing the Sahara. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
New game in town. Get ready to match 5 and you can win 10K. Let's go. Play with just $2. Match 5 numbers from 1 to 29 to win. Draws every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. It's easy, fun, and local. Match 5, your local jackpot game. Dominican National Lottery.
Welcome to the sports segment. Michael M.J. Postel has been ranked number 18 in ESPN Sports Center Next Top 25 rankings for the class of 2029. The New Jersey standout was previously named the state's top shooting guard in his class by Prep Hoops. Postel is part of the Pro Dev Unlimited program funded by Khalil Brown, the son of Dominican parents and a former professional basketball player. Brown says the recognition reflects Postel's hard work and dedication and believes it marks the start of a promising basketball career. ProDev Unlimited has earned national recognition for developing elite youth talent and helping athletes secure college scholarship opportunities. St. Lucia's sprint sensation Julian Alfred delivered another stellar performance on the international stage, capturing victory in the women's 200 meters at the Rome Diamond League. Alfred stormed to the finish line in an impressive 21.93 seconds, securing first place and continuing her remarkable run of form against some of the world's top athletes. The victory adds another major achievement to Alfred's growing list of accomplishments and further cements her status as one of the Caribbean's premier track and field stars. Congratulations are pouring in from across the region as fans celebrate another outstanding performance by the St. Lucian champion. Her latest triumph serves as an inspiration to aspiring athletes throughout the Caribbean. The Dominica Football Association has continued its grassroots football development efforts with a visit to St. Luke's Primary School in Point Michel. Led by Technical Director Jerome Badwil, the DFA presented football uniforms and balls to students, helping to support their participation in the sport. The association says it remains committed to providing young players with opportunities and resources to develop their skills and passion for football. The DFA also thanked the school's principal, staff, and students for their warm welcome. The DABA Basketball League 2026 continued on a Wednesday night at Massac, with Paybush Snipers securing an impressive 95-85 victory over Perkins Pizza 767 SC Young Ballers. Leading the charge for the Snipers was Kaylan Paul, who delivered a game-high of 31 points, while Siobhan Seaman added 19 points in a strong offensive performance. The win gives the Paybush Snipers valuable momentum as they continue the campaign in the 2026 DABA National Basketball League. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next.
Hello, good day, and welcome to our weather broadcast for today, Friday, June 5th. I am your presenter, Annie Corretto Joseph. Let's begin by taking a look at the surface analysis. Currently, there are 3 tropical waves in the Atlantic. There are 2 close to us, and if we take a look at the satellite imagery associated with this wave, we can see this area of cloudiness associated with the one in the central Atlantic, and this wave is expected to move across the islands by Sunday. The first wave here is expected to move across the islands during the course of tonight. Today across the Lesser Antilles, few clouds move across the area, and as we zoom in, we can see this area of cloudiness just east of the islands associated with this weak wave, and it's expected to move across the islands as we move into tonight. During the course of today, few clouds move over the island, which resulted in partly cloudy to cloudy skies, mainly across the central and eastern part of the island. The radar imagery here showed some isolated showers just off the eastern area of Dominica, and out across to the east of the island we can see some approaching scattered showers associated with this wave. A dense layer of Saharan dust is expected to move across the region from tonight and extending to tomorrow, Saturday. This is expected to result in poor, unhealthy air quality, low visibility with warm, uncomfortable temperatures. People with respiratory sensitivities, allergies, you are advised to avoid the outdoors as much as possible, and if needs be, please wear some protective mask. Mariners, if you're venturing out, you're advised to carry along with you some navigational devices. Conditions for tonight: some cloudy skies with a few showers as this wave moves across. Temperatures to be down to about 24 degrees Celsius along the coast, about 22 in the interior. Winds generally out of the east peaking to near 35 kilometers per hour. And again, we expect to see that significant increase in haze. Tomorrow, Saturday, again, significant concentrations of haze can be expected. As I said earlier, a reduction in air quality. And this is expected to get some reduction as we move into Sunday and Monday. However, the haze will linger. As a result, again, people with sensitivities to respiratory, please exercise caution. Temperatures to be warm to peak near 32 degrees Celsius during the course of the weekend, and nights will also remain warm, peaking to near 24 degrees Celsius. Wind generally out of the east, peaking to near 35 kilometers per hour. Sea conditions, swells to be near 7 feet along the east, near 3 feet along the west. Again, mariners, if you're venturing out, there may be some low visibility, especially tomorrow, Saturday. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:33 a.m. and set at 6:35 p.m. Our high tides will be at 6:50 a.m. and 8:26 p.m., while the low tides will be at 12:35 a.m. and 2:03 p.m. For up-to-date information, you can follow our WhatsApp channel by scanning this QR code, or you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Dominica Met and our website at weather.gov.dm. Thank you for viewing, and join us next week for your next weather broadcast. Have a good weekend.
And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 5th of June, 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Have a good weekend.